What's going on, guys? It's Argon here today, and I got another video for you that's it's gonna be a little bit controversial, probably more so than my last one, but you know what, if you could just hear me out, stay through to the end, let me know what your thoughts are. But today we're gonna talk about supply drops, everybody's favorite subject. That's right, guys, the bane of everybody's existence in Call of Duty. But what I want to talk to you guys about is, I don't think that supply drops are all that bad. I think they're a necessity for the Call of Duty community. It definitely helps us have a game that we enjoy and love, and let me explain to you guys why exactly. Supply drops are completely a business case issue. They needed to make money, and it's, you know what, something that they can't really hold against them. First and foremost, Activision's a business. Like every other business in the world, their intent is to make money, and you know what, if they're not making money, things are going to start changing around there. That's their only goal. We get our game every year because they make money. That's as simple as it gets. If they don't make money, no game. End of story. So how are they going to make money? Every single year, Call of Duty is the top game that gets released. That's a known fact. So Call of Duty's got to be the game that makes the most amount of money for them. But every year, sales are starting to drop for Call of Duty. Now, Black Ops 3 was a little bit of a spike up, but you could see the trend. IW was a real big drop. You can see the numbers on the screen here. You know, we peaked out in sales back in Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3 time frame, but it's been going down. World War 2 will probably be a little bit better, but they're probably not going to hit Black Ops 1 and MW3 numbers. Now, for those of you that are a little bit older that remember buying games back in the day, you'll remember video games haven't changed in price much, ever. I remember buying games for Super Nintendo, original Super Nintendo, for $50, and that was back in like the early 90s. And I'm showing you guys some examples of ads from Best Buy back in the 90s, where you could see game prices still in the 50s, high 40s, 50s, and it wasn't until next-gen consoles that they really started raising the price to about $60. Now granted, Call of Duty comes with a DLC pack, a season pass that you can buy. You know, that's always been a thing. At the end of the day, you can get into the game for $60. That's as simple as it is. It's been that way for the last 10 years, and it's going to be that way for the near future. Now, unlike the sales price of the game, costs are going up. Every single year, the game costs more and more money to make. If you go back to COD 4, aka the original Modern Warfare, there wasn't much to the game. There was no DLC content. There was a limited spectrum of camos. There wasn't specialists or any of that stuff that you could get. You couldn't custom fit your rig, none of that stuff. No DLC weapons. So the cost to develop that game, much less than what it was going to be now. Now I can show you guys, here's some examples of costs of Call of Duty games over the years. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the actual cost of newer games. You know, recently Destiny 1 was expected to be about $1 billion, and Destiny, I think, got spent a little bit more money on it than Call of Duty. But you could see development costs, marketing costs, all these get more and more expensive. And if you guys pay attention, the costs that you just look, the people that they bring in to do commercials, the singers, the concerts, the reveal events, all the marketing goes up every year. Not to mention the studios are getting bigger, people's salaries are getting bigger, the cost to develop the game is continuously increasing. And the more we expect content in the game, the more expensive it gets. So how are they going to combat this system? You have two options. For those of you that don't know, profit is equal to revenue minus cost. So if costs are going up and revenue is not going up, or it's going down, your profits are going to go down or eventually become losses. And that's exactly what you want to avoid. So the way they have to generate revenue, they have two options: either raise the price of the game or add supply drops. And the thing about supply drops is people can end up spending as much as they want. There's a lot of people that spend $0, and there's a lot of people that spend hundreds of dollars. It's totally your choice. Let's say, for example, we don't want supply drops anymore. That means every single person has to cover the cost of the game. Obviously, the cost of Infinite Warfare was about $60. And so at 11 million copies, that's about $660 million. Now let's say they did about 50% of that in supply drops. So let's just round it off at $1 billion, okay? They made about $1 billion in revenue. Now let's say they wanted to just get away from the supply drop system, but they still needed to generate $1 billion. If they're expecting to sell 11 billion copies, they're gonna have to sell the game for about $100. So that's it. So if you're the kind of person that either you can't afford the full game, you just want to spend the $60, that's it, you're kind of stuck. That would take the price from $60 to $100, and it would include everything. My guess is they're not even going to stop it at $100. They'd probably sell a full game for like $130, $140, and that would include all future content, all release content. There'd be no supply drops, but that's a lot of money for a game. That's a lot of money for a game. That'd be unheard of. and you don't want to get into a situation like that. It just seems better to have an option to support as I want. If I feel like I'm really enjoying the game and I feel like buying supply drops, I'll buy them. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. But guess what? If they raise the price to $130, we all gotta pay it. And you know what's gonna happen? Not as many people are gonna buy the game. And that's the consequence. You know, the big argument people have about supply drops is it's unfair, it creates imbalance in the game. And is that really true? Do you truly believe the supply drop weapons are the cause of imbalance in the game? I really don't think so. In IW, all the weapons are balanced. There's a few exceptions again, the yokai, the models that are out of balance, but you know, the yokai is a variant. The VPR is a strong gun. If you use a VPR, you're gonna do well. So almost all the guns are balanced. There's a few outliers, but it's not like back in the day with Advanced Warfare when the Obsidian Steed and the Speakeasy led everything. And we can kind of give those guys a pass because that was the first time they tried out the system. It was the first time Sledgehammer had their own title, and it was kind of a mess. I can guarantee you that that situation will never get repeated again. Now onwards to BO3, where they have way more DLC content than they have, you know, launch weapons. At the end of the day, if you don't have any DLC like myself, I have almost no DLC weapons. The VMP and the M8 are by far better guns than almost every other weapon I can run into, and I'll win gunfights against almost every gun using a VMP or an M8. My problem in BO3 is the connection. It's not the weapons. So I don't even have a problem there. And back to IW, if there was really an imbalance in the weapons, how come there's no gun that everybody says is the most OP gun in the game? Mine even varies. One day I'll say the models are bothering, the other day it's the Proteus shotgun, the other day it's the, you know, the yokai, or who knows, man. It could be a million different options. This is whatever happens to kill me at the moment. There's just no clear consensus. So like I said, the supply drop system is totally optional. You don't have to buy into any of it. If you don't support it, don't support it. If you really don't care, spend some money. At the end of the day, it's not the reason why people are going bad. They're not playing bad at the game. And I challenge you, if you're watching this video and you really think that the variants themselves are what's causing you to perform badly, let me know in the comments below. Truly let me know. Like, I want to watch some of your gameplay. I want to see that you have an accurate shot, that you have good map awareness, that you move around the map well, that you play the objective or whatever game mode you're playing, that you play smart, you have a good shot, you have a good connection, and ultimately some perk that's on a weapon that you don't have is what's causing you to die or what's preventing you from getting kills. Do so, tell me that. Otherwise, I really don't think that's a problem. Now, I think if we were really being fair, I think we could all say that that's true. Let me summarize this by just saying this. Ultimately, if there was those supply drops, I really wouldn't care. It's not going to bother me. But at the end of the day, they're a business. They're here to make money. They provide us a game that we love. I don't care if they make money, if they make $1 bajillion. It doesn't matter to me. More power to them. I like the fact that it's 100% optional. I like the fact that they haven't jacked the price of the game up. Remember, video game prices have not really changed in the last 20 years. Think about that. That's a long time. How many other things do you know that have not changed prices in 20 years? Nothing. Basically nothing. So that's it, guys. You know, what do you guys think? I know most people hate supply drops, but let me know what you guys think. If you made it this far, you've definitely heard what I have to say. You might agree with me. It might have opened your eyes a little bit. Maybe you think there's some truth to what I'm saying. Let me know your thoughts. I just don't want you saying, supply drops suck. You're a shill for Activision. You know, that's just kind of a sellout response. Think hard about it. Have you guys really had a lot of experience buying supply drops, or do you just grind the game out and get keys your way? You know, let me know what you think. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're not following me on social media, all the links are in the description below. And as always, guys, my name is Argon, and I will see you next time. Peace.